SimDC'sReviews, I'm back in with yet another video, and today's video is going to be about my top 5 ways that they can defeat Zamasu in Black in Dragon Ball Super. Now, I thought about doing this video, and I thought about what ways would I like to see them do it. Not necessarily kill or anything like that, but defeat them in general. So, of course, I would like them to get killed. I want Zamasu and Black to die. I want them to get killed. But there are other ways that they can beat them, as we know from the episodes that have passed, and as we know from upcoming episodes, there are other ways that they can beat them. So these are my top 5 ways that they can beat them. An honorable mention is Zeno getting involved. That's an honorable mention because obviously Zeno is overkill. If he gets involved, there's no stopping him. Or any of the top 5, people in the universe, the top 5 fighters in the universe, any of them getting involved, that's overkill. Obviously, they'll destroy Zamasu and Black. That's not even an issue. So, that's just an honorable mention. Number 1, Beerus. I would love to see, because in the last episode, we find out that Gawasu is telling Beerus he'll figure out a way to allow him to go into the future and confront Black and Zamasu. I would love to see Beerus fight Black and Zamasu. Like, could you imagine Goku and Vegeta and Trunks getting dominated? They can't win. And then a portal opens up. And they all look to the sky and they're like, what is that? What is that? And then you see Beerus come down like this, just like floating down, just like, and he's like, I'm here to wreck everything. Like, then you see Zamasu and Black look up and they're like shocked, like, oh my gosh. And Zamasu and Black are talking like, you can't be here. You're a god. You're not supposed to be able to travel through time. Like, could you just imagine the fear that Zamasu and Black would have if they saw the Beerus just floating down with Whis next to him? But my one issue with it is, as I said in my last video, if you remember my last video, when I said that me personally, I don't think Beerus can beat them. Not because he's less powerful, but because Zamasu is immortal. So Zamasu might be 100 times weaker than Beerus, but he's still immortal, so it doesn't matter. We know Goku's stronger than Zamasu because he beat the crap out of Zamasu when they first fought, right? But at the same time, Zamasu's now immortal, so even though Goku's stronger, and I'm gonna assume Goku's in his base Super Saiyan form when he fought Zamasu, so Goku's stronger in his base, then Vegeta's without a doubt stronger than Zamasu. And Trunks with his new form is without a doubt stronger than Zamasu. So even though they're stronger, it doesn't matter because Zamasu's immortal. And the same goes with Black. Black obviously getting more powerful. The longer he fights, the more powerful he gets. So, I mean, that's that too. But that's my only issue is, like, I don't think Beerus will be able to beat them. But could you imagine? So let me flip it from just Beerus. I'm gonna add Whis into this situation too. Could you imagine if Whis realizes Beerus can't beat them and Whis is just like, that's enough? Like, you remember at the end of Battle of Gods when Beerus was going off and Whis was like, that's enough, and he chopped him in the neck and knocked him out? Could you imagine if Whis was like, that's enough, I've had enough of watching this, and he got into a fight? Oh my god. And he just started, and we actually saw what Whis is capable of. We haven't even seen what Beerus is capable of. Could you imagine if we saw what Whis is capable of? Oh my gosh, it's overkill. It's overkill, but that's my number 1. Number 2, Fusion. Now, there has been, I wouldn't even call them leaks, but there was kind of a leak from Dragon Ball Heroes. Now, Dragon Ball Heroes is not canon. It's a Japanese thing. It's a game where it's like basically a bunch of what-if situations. What if Trunks went Super Saiyan 3? What if Gohan went Super Saiyan 4? It's a bunch of what-if situations. It's a game over in Japan. But there was a leak that came out from Dragon Ball Heroes that showed Super Saiyan God Gogeta. Now, it could be fake, it could be real. Some people are saying, oh, it's fake, it's Dragon Ball Heroes, that's not canon, so don't believe that. But on the other hand, it could be real, because if you remember, back in a couple months ago, before we knew anything about Zamasu, we only knew about Black, right? Before we knew anything about Zamasu, there was a Dragon Ball Heroes commercial, right? That showed Zamasu basically overwatching Black dominate Goku and Vegeta. If you remember, if you go back and look, there was a commercial of Zamasu like standing there smiling as Black was beating up Goku and Vegeta, right? And that was kind of a, oh, maybe he's the guy with the white hair that Toriyama was talking about that's evil and bad, right? That was kind of a little justification. And then later on, a couple months later, we find out that Zamasu is indeed the bad guy of this arc. So technically, Heroes is not canon, but Heroes could still shed light on future things that are going to happen. So with that said, maybe we will get fusion. We never know. Maybe we will get fusion. Never know. Never know we'll get fusion. But that's my fourth, because hopefully I do want to see fusion. I would love to see a Super Saiyan God Gogeta. I would love to see that. That would be dope to me. But at the same time, I don't expect it to happen. I don't think it will happen. No, actually, no. Let me rephrase it. I do think there's a possibility it would happen. There's a chance it will happen, but I'm not really getting my hopes up on that. 3. Goku and Vegeta fuse in a different way, which is the Potara Aries, and they create Vegito. I would rather Vegito than Gogeta, and it's mainly for this reason. If they fuse as Gogeta, I just have a feeling that time will run out, because they'll be playing around like they always did. The only time we've seen, now granted there's only been 2 times we've seen Gogeta, but in Fusion Reborn, Gogeta straight to it. Boom. They killed Janemba. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Boom, they killed him. But the other time we saw Gogeta was in Dragon Ball GT, and they played around and they acted funny with Omega Shenron. They played games with him, and what happened? They defused. Later on in that, we get the Spirit Bomb that kills Omega Shenron, so on and so forth. That's the reason why I'd rather see Vegito, because if you see Vegito, they're fused. That's it. There's no turning back from that. They're fused permanently. Now we do know that the Dragon Balls can defuse them now. We do know that, but at the same time, they are permanently fused if they don't use Dragon Balls to defuse them. So I would rather see Vegito than see Gogeta. Also, adding the fact that Vegito is stronger than Gogeta. That Vegito would be dominant. Could you imagine Super Saiyan Blue Vegito? My gosh, it would be dominant. Now we know that Zamasu and Black are going to merge and create. I'm just going to call it Black Zamasu for now. Obviously, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to call it Black Zamasu for now. So we know they're going to merge and they're going to create the Supreme God, right? So if they create the Supreme God, they're going to be they're already overpowered. So you imagine them fusing and putting their powers together and creating an even more powerful being. They're going to be way overpowered. So Vegito would clearly, I have no problem in believing that if Vegito was created into a Super Saiyan God Blue, I have no problem believing that he would straight up destroy the Supreme God Zamasu, or Black Zamasu. So that's number 3. Number 2. Trunks somehow surpasses the form that he's already in and becomes a full-fledged God. Now, I don't know what this form is. No one knows what this form is. So let me just say this real quick. If you watch a video on YouTube about someone talking about this show, Dragon Ball Super, and saying they're explaining, or they're like, and I didn't want to rant, but I have to say this. There are some videos that have hundreds of thousands of views, potentially even millions of views, that say Trunks' new form explained. And I have no problem with you saying explained and then in the video you saying something like, I believe that this is what this form is. That's what I did. I'm calling this form Super Saiyan Demi. That's what I call it. That's what I believe it to be. That's what I see it as. I am not definitively saying that this is that form. No one knows what the form is. So if no one knows what the form is, then how is it that people are saying they know what the form is? There has been no indication at all what this form is called. No one knows what it is. So if you're watching a video and you see someone say, this is Trunks' Super Saiyan God form. This is, don't believe it at all. Do not believe it. Because they are lying directly to your face. No one knows what this is, with the exception of probably the Dragon Ball Super writers and Toriyama. That's the only people who know what this is. No one else knows what this is. I call it Super Saiyan Demi because I believe that Trunks is half Saiyan, half human. So his father is a Saiyan god. So technically he's a god. He's a demigod. So I call it Super Saiyan Demi because his mother is a human. His father's a god. That makes him a demigod. That's why I call him Super Saiyan Demi. Right? So that's what I call it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Number 2, Trunks actually turning into a Super Saiyan God. I would love to see that. I would love to see him surpass his level where he's at now. Because like I said in my last video, although he seems more powerful, it didn't do anything. Literally, he got what? Maybe a total of 6 or 7 hits in the last episode. It didn't change really anything at all. It really didn't do anything. And to be honest, he's gonna get critically injured. Spoiler, sorry about that, but you guys should know by now what's gonna happen in the next episode. But anyway, he's gonna get critically injured in the next episode, and Vegeta's gonna come in apparently and whoop somebody. I don't know what's gonna happen, but the whole next episode is basically dedicated to Vegeta, which I'm so excited for because that's my favorite anime character of all time. So if Trunks gets injured critically, and he can't beat Black and Zamasu, and Vegeta comes in, and Vegeta at least stands a threat to them, then what does that tell you? That tells you that maybe this form is not as powerful as we thought it was. So hopefully he surpasses where he's at, he goes further on, and he goes straight Super Saiyan God, and he gets the power by himself. That's number 2. And my final thing. You guys know where it's going. You guys know where it's going. I would love to see Vegeta get the kill. Now, I know, likely not gonna happen, but a guy can dream. That's my favorite anime character of all time. He doesn't get no shine, really, to be honest. He has a great character arc. He has grown more than any other Dragon Ball character in the history of Dragon Ball, period. He's grown more than anyone. You're talking about a guy who was a villain, who was a pansy for Frieza, who was forced to do things by Frieza, whose planet was destroyed, who lost his entire heritage, bloodline, and his entire race of people, who went on to become evil, like I said, who killed countless millions, billions, because he destroyed planets, who came to Dragon Ball, got married, had a kid, grew up, became a freaking actual character. Like, he has the best character arc of any other Dragon Ball character in history, by far. And I would love to see him get a final blow on someone. It doesn't even have to be the Supreme God Zamasu. It could be Black. If he killed Black, I would be proud to say, yes, finally, Vegeta killed a main villain. I'd be proud of that. It doesn't even have to be Zamasu. It doesn't have to be Zamasu. Now, I don't think, me personally, I do not think the Mafuba technique will work. I think it doesn't matter. I don't think it's going to work at all. So, if it fails, right? If it fails and then they create the merged Zamasu, whatever, that goes on. I'm hoping, me personally, I'm hoping that somehow they demerge, right? Maybe Goku uses the Mofuba again on Zamasu, seals him away, and then Vegeta gets the kill on Black. I would have no problem with that at all. But I just want my boy to get some shine for once in the history of Dragon Ball. I just want him to get some shine because he deserves it. He should have killed Frieza. I wouldn't even be having this conversation right now if he had killed Frieza in Fukatsu no F. In Return of Frieza, I wouldn't even be having this conversation because he should have got that kill, but they took it away from him. So I would love to see him get that final kill. I would love to see him get a new form. We know he's been training, and it's like it's like he has the way they're peddling it is like he has something up his sleeve that he hasn't told anybody about. Because if you remember in the last episode when Piccolo's talking to him, he's like, "Are you gonna go in the time chamber?" And he's like, "Yeah, He says something to the extent of, "Yeah, I'm gonna push back and give them exactly what they're not looking for," something like that. I don't remember the exact words from the sub version that I watched, but it was something to that extent. Like, I'm gonna give them something that they weren't expecting, something like that. So I would love to see him get the final blow. I'd love to see him get the final kill. What I do not want to see, like I said, what I do not want to see is the Mafuba seal them away and be done with it. That's weak to me. That's corny. They need to die. There is no, "Oh, we sealed them away and then we're just gonna put them in a freaking library somewhere in a safe so they can't get out." No. I don't want to see that. I want them to die. I want them to die. I want Black to get killed, obliterated, disintegrated. I want Zamasu to be destroyed. That's what I want to happen. I do not want that Mafuba to do anything. I don't want it to. I hope it fails. But anyway, so that's what I got. Those are my top 5 ways to kill Black and Zamasu. Let me know how you guys feel in the comment section. Give me your top 5 ways if you feel so. And hit that like button because I would greatly appreciate it because it helps me out. Hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it because it helps me out. Share this video on forums with your friends, your mom, your dad. I don't care who you share it with. Share it. That would help me out. Hit me in the comment section. That would help me out because I love to talk to you guys. I enjoy that. And I'm still doing shout outs. If you look at my description, I'll give a shout out to people. And at some point, I'm just going to shout out all of my subscribers in video. So at some point, that's going to happen. But that's pretty much it. So again, let me know how y'all feel about what I'm saying. Let me know how y'all feel about the top 5 ways to kill Black and Zamasu. And that's it. I'm SimDC'sReviews, and I'll holler at y'all later.